Hello Pisces, this is your new moon reading. I am using my own tarot cards, my medieval oracle cards. These energies that are here in your reading might play out during the next 1 to 3 months. So we are starting with the Sun card. Next comes the Moon, then comes the Mirror, Poison, Healer, and Fairy. Actually, it all looks and feels especially quite positive, even though we have the Poison card here. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. So first we are looking at the Sun and the Moon right next to each other. The Sun card in my deck represents the divine masculine, the Moon card, the divine feminine energies. The stars could be perceived like some kind of their children somehow. And both of these cards, they radiate such balance together, such perfection, like the universe and nature and everything is just, it just keeps on running. Everything keeps working out fine, even though, humanity isn't fine. Many things on earth aren't fine. Still, the Sun and the Moon, they are in tune, they are in perfect harmony, they are synchronized, and they never fail. No matter what's happening on earth, no matter what humans are doing, they never fail. It is just perfection, especially having them next to each other. And I feel like this is a symbol for you finding peace on all levels within yourselves and also with your environment. It could also mean that things in your life, like maybe if many things, like let's just say your job, your family, like the family you were born into and the family that maybe you created on your own, like everything was just somehow a little bit odd or going wrong, like nothing was going your way, like everything was out of tune, like nothing, you felt like nothing was aligned with you or your desires. And sometimes we just have these phases of bad luck for a long time, and like we're feeling like we are still physically alive, but somehow we are thrown out of life or rejected by life. And I feel like this is changing now for you. Like you will see and feel all the synchronicities in your life, and like everything will fall into place. That's how it feels. And you will feel that inside of yourself, but you will also see that in your external environment, that suddenly things start to work out without any huge effort. Both of them are so relaxed. I mean, the Sun guy, he doesn't even have his eyes open because he's so satisfied in his core. He doesn't need to see with his eyes. He feels everything inside of him. And he's not only this gentle source of light, he's very powerful. His rays are like swords, cutting sharp and sharp. They could even kill someone. So he has a very strong self defense capabilities, He's not some weak little nurturing source of light. The Sun can also burn things. And I don't mean that in a negative way here, like this is very powerful. Then we have the gentle, the cooling Moon card. And even though she's very cool and cooling, she's also, very gentle with her stars, playing, smiling. Like both of them are so satisfied, so at peace, so at ease. It's very beautiful energy. Next to those two cards, we have the Mirror. And I feel like this is some kind of self-realization and some kind of finally seeing something in the mirror that you like. I feel like some of you, anytime you looked into the mirror, you saw something, not necessarily someone, even though this could also be the case for some of you, but something in your face, something in your physical appearance that really bothered you, and you will come to peace with that as well. Also, you know, some people, they don't like to look into the mirror at all. Sometimes we are also, you know, when we have these online conferences and then you have to see yourself in the camera, in this, you see the other part of the conversation bigger, but you can also see yourself in this smaller box. And then people really want to avoid to look at themselves. Like there could be something about that. It could be solved. But of course, the mirror doesn't only have to reflect our physical appearance. It can also be a metaphor for, yeah, just literal self-reflection, inner self-reflection. And I feel like this, you know, there is no image being reflected in the mirror, like something is just being erased. Like maybe you also had a lot of questions, spiritual longings and questions that will be answered once you tap into this super perfect energy here. Like when you look at in the mirror, this darkness is just being erased out, away from this image that you see in the mirror. It's very nice. It feels like a blank space somehow. We have the poison card here next to the healer. So the poison is not something toxic or dangerous here in your reading. The poison is actually very good, especially next to the healer. Because in my deck, if the poison card comes up in a positive way, it stands for medicine or just an antidote, like literally a physical antidote or mostly a metaphorical antidote to something. And it's right below the sun card, and it's very, very powerful. And the healer in this case could be someone around you who helps you with something. It could actually be a literal doctor or therapist or a spiritual kind of healer. But you know, for some of you, the healer card is not a literal person. It's just representing this healing energy that is coming into your life and that is offering you this very fast and smooth kind of healing that you know, have to only drink this medicine or take this medicine and then your healing will happen automatically. We also have the fairy card here, which is a quite spiritual card. Like the fairy is some kind of magical being who has access to other dimensions that many people don't have access to. The fairy, if she comes up in a negative way, she's very irreliable, very fluctual, very yes and no. She appears to be a little bit schizophrenic, you know. Like she changes her mind very quickly. She can also be a little bit anxious and paranoid, not like she has a lack of trust. And I feel like this could be parts of your old self, like some kind of fear and feeling like being a little bit in and out, not being sure what to decide, how to make decisions. Yet when you made a decision that maybe you immediately regret it or you doubt or you think maybe you made the wrong decision, like something about that. And it also makes me feel like maybe some of you had some issues with properly being grounded in life, because that's also what the fairy can stand for. Like someone who is very, you know, much in the air, in the ether, and not very, you know, like she doesn't really feel like a citizen of the earth. So she comes and goes. And this could be something that you're healing within yourself. Of course, the fairy also has positive connotations, characteristics. Like she is very gentle, very good-hearted, very pure. And those could also represent, you know, your own qualities. And the fairy card makes me feel like she enhances the qualities of the healer. Both of them are some kind of magical beings. They have some kind of magical skills, both in their own way. And if they come together as one person, like if one person has this healer and this fairy energy within them, that's actually a very nice combination and a very powerful combination. So for some of you, this reading could also strongly relate to physical issues that you've been having for quite a while, that maybe there will be some improvement in that, or even, you know, a total healing. At the bottom of your deck, we have the rainbow card, and in my deck, it mainly stands for the third eye, spiritual gifts, spiritual knowledge, because, you know, the whole process of the sun, the raindrops, the clouds, like how the rainbow is being created, like it's pure light, but it breaks into several colors, and all those colors here representing our main, you know, this common known big chakras that are always shown in the pictures, even though there are a lot more chakras, but those are the, you know, the most known ones, and they are represented by these colors here. So this whole process here with the sun and the rainbow always reminds me of the third eye and how it is breaking everything in like into these different chakra colors. So we have also two suns now here in your reading. So there's a lot of enlightenment, understanding, transcendence. The moon card also, by the way, is a very spiritual card in my deck. It's very intuitive. It also has it's some kind of bearer of secret knowledge. And I was mentioning earlier that there is a lot of self-reflection going on, like effortless self-reflection that can be very healing as well. And because I just said, like, this card mainly represents the third eye, and, you know, I was mentioning earlier, like, when you look into the mirror, this is a nice combination, like seeing yourself in a more spiritual way, not in a super physical way. Especially for those of you, if you've been struggling with an illness for a long time, with a physical illness, it also makes us dislike, or it can make us dislike our bodies, not trust our bodies anymore if there's something going on and it's just not healing properly. You know, I feel like it is very important then to get to know something that is beyond your body, to get to know yourself on a more profound spiritual level and less in this human physical self. So that's quite nice. I'm going to put these cards away, and I want to pull some cards for you from my lifestyle and health deck. And as I always say, please don't take it too literally. Counts also for the first part of the reading, counts for all tarot readings, but especially here, those health regarded stuff. This is just for fun. So if you have some issues with your body, rather check in with your doctor. We have protein. So this could be an indication that maybe you want to make sure you take in enough protein, or if maybe for some of you, if you're some kind of fitness freak and you eat protein all day long, maybe it's too much. That's up to you. Next one is music. Music could be very helpful, healing for you at the moment. Maybe you are a musician, or maybe you once were a musician and it's something you want to pick up again. Maybe there's also some kind of music therapy that could help you. Next one is sleep. So we are talking a lot about physical healing here, and it makes sense that you want to get proper sleep, and also maybe sleep a little bit longer than usually if you can afford it, or maybe you have to make space to be able to afford more sleep. Otherwise, you know, you can't heal properly. And the next one is smoking. For those of you who are smokers, this could be an encouragement to stop now. Maybe this is a good time. Maybe you might feel very disciplined at the moment. And it might be easier for you to stop, to give up that habit. Next one is lungs, especially next to the smoking card and below the music card. Some of you, maybe you want to start to sing. Maybe you once were a singer and gave up on it, and it's time to pick that up. So, you know, it's obvious, lungs and music. Or, you know, you can play the saxophone or trumpet. You also need your lungs to make music. And next to the smoking, what else do I have to say? It's obvious. And the next one is herbs. So this could be something that might be helpful for you, especially if there are some lung issues that you're having, some chronic issues. Maybe you can check with your doctor what kind of herbs could be helpful for you. And it is below the sleeping card, so it could also indicate that maybe some specific herbs might help you to fall asleep more gently or faster, or that you can, you know, sleep through and don't wake up in between. I want one more card for you here. Poop. So this could be something about your digestion, and sometimes I also see this card as a metaphor for some kind of annoyance, that something, you know, is just stinking in life. At the bottom of the deck we have timing, and this is first I created this card as some indication for stress, for a lot of deadlines, and I said earlier, like, maybe you have to make space in your life to get more sleep, because otherwise you cannot heal. But also timing can be something very spiritual. We had the rainbow card here, where I said that this is, you know, the spiritual aspect of your reading, that it is just time for you to realize something, or you will realize something about the timestamps of your life. Maybe you will think a lot about your past. Maybe you will reflect upon your whole life. A lot of old memories will, you know, rush through your mind, and you will realize something important about timing and realize that something was always part of a bigger plan. So that's what I have for you. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching.